Hello and welcome. You are watching NewsX and I am Megha Sharma. A 46-year-old woman who was admitted in Gurugram's Medanta hospital was allegedly assaulted by a hospital staffer. In a complaint the woman filed after her discharge, she claimed that there were two nurses who were present in the room but did nothing to stop the incident. The police have said that the woman was admitted to the hospital after she fell ill due to drowning due to a training program that was held by an airline operator. Due to her subconscious state, she could not stop the alleged assault when she was admitted but informed her husband after being discharged. The Medanta hospital has said that it is fully cooperating with the police probe and no allegation has been substantiated thus far. Let's start our conversation. Brinda Adige on the telecast with me. Brinda, it's shocking and deplorable that a situation such as this arose, that a woman who was not in a state to protect herself, she was in a hospital, she was on ventilator, she was sexually assaulted by a male nurse, and there were two other female nurses who were inside the room but did nothing to stop it. At this point, the hospital authority have said that there is no substantiated proof to prove that this incident took place. The investigation is taking place. Do you think there is lack of agility and promptness from the hospital authorities and the police, because it's been at least more than a week, but nothing really has come of it? Can you hear me, Brinda? Okay,
yes,
while we figure out Brinda's connection, Brinda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you repeat, please?
What do you make of the case at this time? Another sexual assault on a woman. She's in hospital. This is not the first time such a case has happened in Indian hospitals. This has happened several times in the past in Gurugram. This has happened in Andhra Pradesh. This has happened in Chennai, in Kochi. How do we tackle the situation such as this?
How do we tackle it? We have laws and mechanisms in place. We are not holding the hospital authorities accountable and responsible. We are talking of the intensive care unit, where even patients' families cannot go in. There are restrictions, there are times, and every moment it is there on CCTV camera. So somebody is supposedly monitoring all of it. So how could this person, whoever it is who has come in, I'm sure it should be one of the hospital people working over there, molested and raped this patient inside? Why was nobody monitoring the ICU? Why was nobody monitoring the CCTV cameras? What was happening there? Because it takes some time. It would have taken about 10-15 minutes, if not more, for something like this to happen. And nobody has seen. So which means even if a patient dies or if there is an emergency, a medical emergency, there is nobody to look on the patients in the ICU. Now that is because we've seen, like you told in the other cases, no action has been taken. There will be a departmental inquiry, one or two underlings will be suspended, and that's it. They are not pulled up. There is nothing at stake for the people who are responsible for something like this. So none of us are safe, our families are not safe, and certainly women and children are not safe anywhere, not in the home, not outside, and right now not in hospitals and ICUs also.
Okay.
Many of the hospitals also take patients for granted, and that is what we need to ask the medical council to look at and say, why are you not allowing us to register a case on the people who are responsible for all this, including the ones who did nothing?
Dr. K.R. Gupta on the telecast with me. Dr. Gupta, this is not a one-off incident that has taken place in India. In 2024 alone, there are at least 5 cases that I am able to take a look at, go back to news reports that have occurred, that have been put out in the media. There could be more of such cases that may have happened in our country. Also, this is not limited to the Indian boundary. This is certain such incidents have taken place one incident that was highlighted. This happened in Arizona in United States of America. That was a huge case. The woman was in vegetated state. She was disabled. She was impregnated during the time that she was in coma, and obviously a huge case that was built by the police over there. But a situation such as this, where where the patient is just without any tools, without any resources to protect themselves, and the hospital authorities are not wanting to take the blame, not wanting to ensure that the thorough investigation takes place from their end as well. They are trying to save face over here. In a situation such as this, how do we ensure safety of women?
See, the safety of women is not ensured anywhere. Okay, so hospital is not out of this society. It's not in the mass. But corporate hospital, they do have a structured inquiry against such cases. Like the male doctors and also the female doctors for that matter, they have a strict chaperone policy. Then they have the CCTV monitoring. They have the complaint launching. But everything cannot be foolproof. If things were foolproof, such cases would not have happened in any corner of the society. Because you see, there are law enforcing agencies. There is the hospital top-notch administration, and they have an accountability. But you can punish, but you cannot seal all the holes. It's there in the public psyche. Okay, so this sickness of the society is leading to the increase in the crime against women. So I think the problem lies in sex education of the society. And as for this case, you are saying the hospital has launched an inquiry. You see, in the hospital, in the ICU, I believe there is strict CCTV monitoring. So they will get the footage. Okay. And if the nurse is suspended, it's because the brother has committed this crime. So it's not like suspending an underling and doing away with it. No, the POSH has a specific structure. Had it been committed by a consultant, the consultant would have been suspended. Had it been committed by anyone from the administration, that person would have been suspended. So there is a strict POSH structure where we can have a streamline in reporting and the administration taking action. Okay. So I believe, this is under investigation, so I wouldn't comment on this.
Again, a complaint being filed on April 13th, today is April 16th. The police have said that they have initiated an investigation. They are going to look into the CCTV footage. How long does it take for the cops to go through that entire footage on that particular date, at that particular time, to be able to then come up and decisively say that there was a sexual assault that took place? It's already 3 days that have passed.
Take long. I do believe it should not take long, but because it's a sub judice case, I would not comment on it. But if you ask my personal opinion, I would say it's taking way too long. It should not take so long.
Okay. Taira, coming to you. Protection of women, security and safety of women. We saw that unfortunate case that had taken place in Kolkata. There was a resident doctor who was assaulted. She was killed. And I don't know what has come of it. There is one man that has been arrested, but there seemed to be some sort of a syndicate working in that heinous crime that had taken place. And here we have another woman that has been assaulted while she was under ventilator. How do we protect our women?
Yes, this is a question. This question is more strongly we must raise. That about the women's safety. Women are not safe in medical college. In Kolkata, the one daughter that she was assaulted, raped, and murdered when she was on duty. And here, the one woman who was on ventilator, then I mean, now this monster cannot spare women even on the ventilator also. Can you imagine where we are heading as a society? And why the laws are not implemented properly? When the laws are there, what about the CCTV camera monitoring? Why no action has been taken? Why delay 2 days, 3 days delay? I mean, this cannot be justified. Suspension is not an answer of this such a heinous crime. Terminate her and take the action and punish her, put them behind the bar. Because ICU is not an isolated place, there is nurses and the one doctor also, 2 doctors also remain there. So what they were doing? Why they were silent spectator? Question is this: people are not raising this question. Why these corporate hospitals are minting money? They're not doing these, giving these facilities free. So the accountability must be fixed on the hospital also,
Yeah.
and the staff also, especially the ICU of the Medanta, should be taken under consideration, and the accountability must be fixed on them. And action must be taken. This is no action. So what happens? After this crime, this hospital will work, mint money, no problem. And what will happen? The next time, again we will hear that the more heinous crime will be committed. So if these type of crimes, people are committing without fear, they have no fear of law. In spite of this, I will say again, repeat, we have very strict laws, but they are not implemented properly. Here, the whole responsibility on the ICU of this Medanta hospital, and this Medanta hospital itself, what they were doing.
Okay.
Playing
Yeah,
with the
fair
life
enough.
of the people. I mean, they're degrading the woman who was helpless on the ventilator. I mean, this monster did not spare to helpless women also.
Yeah, Dr.
Can
Dr.
you
Hemika,
imagine? I mean,
yeah, those are all important questions raised. Dr. Hemika Agarwal, if a private hospital is not able to provide the safety and security to the patient, and particularly a woman, should it not come under the scrutiny of the police inquiry that takes place? Can it just wash its hands off by suspending the nurse that committed this crime?
Meghaji, firstly, I'll say it's not a question of private or government. Everybody is equal in front of law. So nobody is out of scrutiny. And even in the Kolkata case, we saw the female doctor was allegedly assaulted inside the hospital premises, which was the government hospital. So the question of government versus private does not arise. And I especially appreciate that you started the debate with the question, with the mention of the person is the thing is of alleged assault, because I personally see in the whatever I have been seeing recently, social media trial is becoming a problem. Media helps us. Media is the fourth pillar of democracy, and we are the responsible media. Like yourself, you mentioned that on alleged, you are the responsible media. What I've been seeing is the society, because of the social media, oscillates in two directions. One direction is the society says every Me Too case is true, and then we have another case in Bangalore where somebody commits suicide and the wife is supposedly labeled false, so every woman is filing false cases. So I would like to state that every case is individual, every trauma is very individual, and we should not generalize these statements. And everybody, nobody is above law. And as Dr. Gupta rightly said, that it is not just the law. See, laws are there, but people, humans implement the law. We ourselves are responsible for implementation of law. There has been a controversy. I did not speak about it, but I would like to say that if some comedian passes off remarks which are objectionable, it is not the only remark. Our social media is full of things which are
No.
instigating the youth.
Let's not divert ourselves from the actual conversation and the subject that we are discussing over here. My question is, are there proper inquiries that are now being made by the hospital top authorities over this male nurse who committed this heinous crime, who sexually assaulted this woman? Has his history been taken into account? Was he even hired after taking a look
Yes.
at the previous places he has worked at? Has there been any previous cases that have been lodged against him? Is he a repeat offender? And particularly,
Yes.
who are these two female nurses who were bystanders watching the assault taking place and not taking action, not
Exactly.
raising an alarm? So and on top of it, I mean, I'm not even going whether the woman over here who is at this point of time alleging that there was a sexual assault on her, I'm not even, I don't think I will go down and question her allegation against this nurse. I am at this point of time taking the case on face value that there has been an alleged sexual assault that has taken place. I will mention this, that in the year 2024 itself, there have been at least 6 such cases that have been reported. There may be many more, and the point here is, how are we going to protect our women? Yogita Bayana, how do we protect our women when such a reputed hospital, which is a costly, expensive hospital, assures that its patients are going to be taken care with all the best services, all the first class services, is
Yes.
then not delivering, and an incident as heinous and unfortunate and deplorable as this takes place in its premises.
As you rightly
Completely,
said, hiring of the
completely
Yogita, you'll have to
unacceptable.
please tilt your screen. I can't see you. You are blurred. So let's get back to Dr. Hemika. Let's get back to Brinda here. Brinda, coming to you. What are your comments? How do we, again the question, how do we tackle it? Because I mean, I seem to be helpless here in a situation such as this, that crimes against women continue to happen. We raise our voices, we put it out on our platform, and what happens after that? Because after a few days it fizzles out and we don't really know where the investigation has reached and if the accused have been brought to book.
Ask very pertinent questions. Is the background of the person they are employing in the hospital checked and verified, and who does it? Does this person have some kind of an antecedent of this nature? Nobody knows, because these are very sensitive areas where these people are supposedly working. It is an ICU. You need to have your educational background, of course, but you also need to know what are the antecedents of these people. In this age and time, you and I know that anybody would get a certificate and come from anywhere. The other question that you asked, what were those nurses doing? Why were they silent spectators? Is that what they have been paid for? Is it not their job to either raise an alarm or stop this person? There were two of them against this one person and this patient who is on ventilator. So why should the nurses also not be booked for abetment to rape? But all of that said, the management must be booked. Otherwise, there's no way we are going to hold them accountable. And our patients, our family members who go there with medical ailments will not just die of that ailment, might die of all the physical harm that these people, the perpetrators and the culprits and the rapists are doing. So the hospital would turn around and say something stopped, heart stopped or something else stopped, and so the person died, when actually the truth may be something else. So hospital authority must and should be held.
Tyra, quickly a comment from you.
I'm saying that it's not that we are implementing agency, law implementing agency. Earlier, your panelist said that we are not implementing. Who are we to implement? Actually, the time when this rape had happened in Kolkata Medical College, Arjikar Medical College, that time we were raising points, that questions on the institute as well as the head of the state, Mamata Banerjee. We all took her head on, all the activists, all the civil society people. Here, why should we not raise the question on the Medanta hospital? Why? Are they not responsible? Is it that going to a Medanta is easy access to all poor people? No. The people who have money in their pocket and not the marginalized class can go there. So they have responsibility to give the security to women, men, everybody.
Yeah.
And this woman on ventilator was, this assaulted, as she's saying. So who is responsible? Two nurses were watching silently, and there must be doctor, other healthcare. There must be a healthcare team in the ICU. So why not fix the accountability on the healthcare team?
Okay.
What's
Fair
wrong
enough.
into it?
Fair enough. Yogita, I think we are able to see her now. Her video connection is all right. Yogita, again, how do you, on a macro level, first of all, why has the inquiry not moved forward in a swift fashion? And on a macro level, are women deserving of justice, getting them swiftly, promptly by our enforcement agencies?
See, Megha, first of all, this is a classic case where a hospital of that stature is involved, where things will definitely be tried to suppress. I don't know, this really needs a lot of courage for this girl to come up and speak about her assault. And they must have tried their best to suppress this particular case. Now that it has come to highlight, thanks to channels like you, because a lot of media will not raise for obvious reasons, so now what we need to introspect is that vulnerability factor of the patients, especially the women patients, we do get in my Pari People Against Rapes in India, on my helpline number. I do get cases where government hospital staff were involved assaulting the women. Women are very vulnerable. It's a place where everybody is vulnerable as a patient, but women are more vulnerable, and you definitely need to you don't think twice to get derobed in terms of, because you are getting treatments, you're on a ventilator, doctors are coming, male doctors are coming, so you are exposed to that kind of environment. And when someone breach your trust there, I mean, it is very derogatory. It is like, how do I say, this is the worst thing you could do as humanity. But if you don't have checks and balances, whether it is posh committee in the hospital, whether it is two women watching, I don't know what went into their head that they did not complain, or they were involved in terms of course they were bystanders. Why there was no strict policy for internal staff as well as for the patients? It is taken for granted. Hospital is supposed to be the safest place. Why we have that much confidence in hospitals, especially a brand like Medanta? I mean, for God's sake, if that trust has been broken, I think we will never be able to feel safe anywhere. However, women don't feel safe anywhere, but hospital,
right?
I mean, that's crazy.
And the unfortunate thing is that this is not a first off case. This is not a rare incident. It has happened several times in the past. There have been such reports that have surfaced. It is not a one-off incident, and that's what scares us. And the fact that, are there any strong guidelines and rules that hospitals across the country are following to then ensure that they learn lessons from such an incident? And are there measures that have been put in place? And are the patients who are getting admitted into the hospitals have their rights to then raise questions, file complaints, and also bring the hospital authorities, the management, to book in case their involvement is proven during the inquiries and probes by the enforcement agencies? I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast, and on that note I slip into a short break. Thanks for watching NewsX.